lose one game, but not the next one. You should advise Manu. I just want to recognize 2 to 3 people, and then I say a couple of things. I want to recognize David Mugonyi, who's here, the Director General of the Communications Authority. We have the Deputy Chief of Staff, Deputy Secretary to the Cabinet, Kichumba Karoli. We have a very distinguished lawyer, Mahad Somane. But for a minute, I want the President of the Rugby Union, Sasha Mutai, to come and say a word.
Yes, President. Thanks for that ambush. Hussein, my good friend, we've been through the trenches. I know you very many years. There's one time we were driving cars at a wedding many years ago at a friend's place. But rugby and football are very closely associated. We've come into rugby and cleaned up, which is very important. We know what happened there. Ours probably is not as public as zile as Kandanda, but tulikuwa na shida pia. But one thing that we have in this country and we should not take for granted is the young people. As we all played, then we retired. The best place for football and for any person is on the pitch. The best place for any rugby person, like for me, ni kwa kiwanja. So you have to make this thing better than we found it and when we played. Yeah, because it's for them, it's for those young people. I retired in 1999, broke my leg for the game, but I loved the game, I was back. You have to make it for those young people, that is what you have to do. And rugby and football can work together in terms of facilities. I was in Madrid earlier this year when Kenya qualified for the HSBC services, and that was in Atletico's stadium. So in terms of infrastructure, we should work together. Yeah, and together, working together as Kenyan sports, all of us, this past week also had a talk with Athletics Kenya. If we come together, we'll be very powerful. But leadership, the most important thing is to have the right person, the right team. And Mariga, I've been at Mariga's brother's house in London. I went for the North London Derby 2016. And I took my nephews to see Wanyama. I think that game was 1-1. And it was even an own goal, so Hassan didn't even score. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But I was the best uncle. Took my nephews to Victor's house, which one had heating kwa floor. Hey, wali, I have some Wazungu cousins and nephews. So they were actually shocked that they said they have taken you to a professional footballer's house with underfloor heating. And that is where Kenyans should be. We also have players, young players on scholarship. We have the talent. Let's work together. Let's put the right team over there. Let's win together. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. I see some of the greatest names in sports. Some people I greatly admire their passion for just sports in its entirety and youth development. People who know Carol Radu know that Carol and sports, Carol and passion for sports are one and the same thing. So seeing you here, I told my brother Hussein this is a big endorsement. Seeing I want you here also gives me great joy that people who care for this country and the country's youth and the sports of this country are all gathered here today with one common purpose, a fresh start. And I think that for me is an amazing thing. I'm a very big admirer of the young talents that we actually have on the global scene, even in the local scene. I remember Mzee, as I said, I'm a very big Liverpool supporter for almost 40 years. So one day Liverpool was playing Tottenham in Anfield. And I love Victor, at that time, Victor Wanyama was playing for Tottenham. And I don't know, we were racing. We were just at the point of recovery with Jurgen Klopp. To tell you the admiration Kenyans have for their own. Victor Wanyama scored the most memorable goal against Liverpool in Anfield at the 80th minute for a game we needed to win. And yet all the Kenyans in that room cheered that goal, notwithstanding that they were Liverpool supporters. That's the passion. Our sportsmen and women who excelled at the highest level are some of our best ambassadors, the most humble people. The people who hold Kenya's flag so high, which most of us sabotage. They are the people who ensure that Kenyans sometimes come together for a common purpose. Those of you who remember 1987, the African Cup of Nations, I hope and pray that Hussein we will relieve that spirit in 2027. With Nick away from football and you and Mariga leading it. We will fill our stadiums, we will fill our TV stations, we will be able to have a rebirth of Kenyan soccer and Kenyan sports generally. Sasha, we used to wake up at night to watch Kenya play the HSBC Sevens. Somebody just messed it up, but I'm grateful that you brought it back. We wake up at midnight at 1 a.m. to watch legends race only for 2 minutes, Faith Kipyegon. We watch the likes of Eliud Kipchoge. They bring so much pride and joy to this country, but that joy dies immediately they retire from that sport. And that is the story of Kenyan sports. So when I see my friend for over 2 decades, he was in a school next to me. He was in Dagoretti, I was on the other side of the road, Lenana. Hussein has been a passionate football person, playing it and starting the most successful grassroots soccer development program and competition, Super 8. I used to remember I would go to some of those matches and be the chief guest. Saying whenever you post pictures of your Super 8, you post the one with Ronaldinho, but you don't post the one I was there. Hussein anang'ara na Ronaldinho, alikuja kwa Super 8 moja, but he forgets I've also been attending his Super 8. And that's the passion. And I think it's time to fix Kenyan football, like it is the time to fix many other things. So when Hussein told me that he had actually identified Mark as his running mate, I thought, what an amazing combination. A man with strong credentials in soccer administration and a footballer. I believe Mariga is the most successful footballers in Kenyan history, largely because he excelled where most of us might not have been. And he's a role model to many. Winning the Champions League, playing in Inter Milan. I remember even Raila once wrote a letter when he was to play for Man City. And that is the story these young people need to tell the world. So, when you told me, I think if some of us learned a bit of humility from some of Kenya's most celebrated legends, meet Faith Kipyegon when you will tell this is a